Hello everyone. This video is on effortlessness. And when we want to transcend, when we want the mind to enter a deep state of calm, we do that through cultivating a very gentle, a very patient, a very kind attitude towards our mind. So if we sit in stillness and we want to have a pause, we want to meditate, we want to connect to the deepest part of our being, the way we connect to the deepest part of our being is always through effortlessness. We cannot connect to that deep part if we're pushing, if we're impatient, if we're arguing with ourselves and trying to stop the thoughts from occurring, because the thoughts are simply happening in that moment, passing through the system. So when we sit to meditate, if we've had some busyness that day, or some stress is releasing, some impressions we've taken on that we've seen, that we've heard, or from the past, those impressions are going to exit in the form of thoughts. And we want them to exit. We don't want to stuff them in. And so we celebrate during meditation that exiting of those impressions. And they exit over and over again because we're always taking in impressions. We do that because that's just part of living. So we're taking in impressions and we're releasing them. We're taking in impressions and we're releasing them. So when we sit to meditate, we might think, oh, I think I might have some pasta for dinner. Oh, but I'm meditating. Oh, returning back to the breath or whatever we've decided we're going to return back to. Then the mind might settle on the breath or the mantra or the voice of the guide. And then in a few moments' time, it might wander off again. Oh, I think that my friend said she was going to watch that movie. I might go join her. Oh, but I'm meditating. Coming back, settling. Off it goes again. Oh, I really didn't like the way I was driving. I lost it yesterday and I honked at that person. Oh, I'm a bad person. Oh, I'm meditating. Coming back. Oh, I'm really worried about what's going on in the world. Oh my gosh, it's never been like this before. What's going on? Oh, I'm meditating. Coming back. And this is meditation. When done effortlessly, we're not judging the thoughts. We're not thinking the thoughts are facts. We don't even believe they're accurate. They're just stress releases. And in between the stress releases, we return back. It's very effortless. And in this acceptance of whatever is occurring in the present moment, in this easiness, we can gently float down effortlessly into the deepest part of our being. And that will occur if we're effortless about it. It won't occur if we're angry that we're thinking, if we're annoyed that the thoughts are occurring, if we think I'm not meditating because my mind wandered off and I need to force it to stay on the breath or force it to stay on the mantra or force it to stay on the guide's voice. No, we set the mind free. We give it complete free rein to move around. The mind loves to move. And it moves and it's looking for something delicious to settle on. And it will settle on the deepest part of the being if we just give it the freedom to do so in its own time. And so I've been reading some of the comments in the meditations, and a couple of you have been writing comments about having difficulty meditating or not being able to stop the mind. You don't need to stop the mind. I meditate, and there's always thoughts in my meditation, and then sometimes it settles down, but I'm not demanding that it do so because I trust the intelligence of my body will release as much stress as it needs to in the form of thoughts. And it's really not up to me to decide how many thoughts get released in the meditation. Every day is different. If I've had a busy day, I might have more thoughts. If I'm having some stress release from the past, I might have more thoughts. I don't care. We're just effortless. And when we show no argument towards whatever's occurring in the present moment, life just balances out and settles naturally into its own place. And the mind can connect to the deepest part of the being. And then when the mind connects to the deepest part of the being, the veil can get thin between the physical world and the non-physical world. And that's when we might have celestial experiences. We don't have to. Sometimes if we go very, very deep beyond the celestial realm, there's going to be no celestial experiences. We're just like in the nuclear core of the universe at that point, outside of experience entirely, at a very deep state. And then you're just absorbing all of this intelligence, which reboots the system. But as we move around on our scenic journey down, oh, little Octoby is in my sorry. She's gone in my sorry. Wow. But you just accept, if you have cats, they fiddle around the whole time. Do you want to come up on the chair? Do you want to come up? Ah, you stop it. Come on. We have these games that we play. I don't know what she's going to do. She might just attack me, but that's fine. So anyway, it's funny because today on the theme of cats, I did my city program in the morning. And the city program, for those of you who don't know about it, is when you transcend for a specific amount of time, you enter a very deep state. And then rather than just staying in the state, wow, she's really attacking my sorry. Rather than just staying in the state, you start moving around in the stillness. And it creates effects in the atmosphere. And then there's a lot going on. And then I lie down after I've done that. And you do burn a lot of calories when you do that. And you do need to rest. I rest for about 15 minutes after doing it. And sometimes when you're in that deep rest, the veil gets very, very thin. And you might connect to things. And this morning was very interesting because the veil was thin, and then this white cat, very slim cat, appeared and was peering over me very, very intensely and curiously like this. But she was beautiful. She was white and she had light pink draped kind of jewelry-like hanging items. And she came into my awareness. She stayed momentarily and then she disappeared. And then it got me thinking, what is this? And so I did some research afterwards this morning, and Egypt came up, and I was like, oh, in Egypt they worshipped cats. And it kind of makes sense that she might appear because I rescue a lot of cats. And normally I'm really interested in Nagaloka, the snake consciousness realm. And snakes appear for me. But I've never had a cat appear. So that was really intriguing. But her energy was very protective and very intense and very curious. And so maybe she's there to protect the stillness and the meditation. This one doesn't protect any stillness. What are you doing? This is October. I rescued her. She's a little naughty one. She's the one that likes to try and jump on the snakes. She jumps on the other cats. She's always full of beans. She likes to scratch things when she's in her hyperactive mood. When there's a full moon, or sometimes, in the evening, she like puffs up and runs around like a banshee for about 15 minutes. But she's adorable. Adorable. And so maybe that's why the cat goddess appeared. And before I got into meditation in a very big way, if you had told me that I was going to start seeing things like cat goddesses, I would have laughed in your face and told you you were mad, because I was a bit of a party girl and wasn't really interested in those realms. I just wanted to go out dancing and have a good time. I was focusing on my acting career. But when you get touched by the transcendental realm, it can start to change the course of your life. And so none of this was really planned. I do come from a lineage, but I wasn't really interested in that lineage when I was growing up. I was more interested in just having fun, and spirituality was not on my radar. However, and since it's Gurudev's birthday today, Jai Gurudev, I have to thank him or it or whatever Gurudev is, because I had started on my meditative path and I started to learn transcendental meditation. I was doing mindfulness meditation and teaching mindfulness for many years. But when I did the transcendental meditation, I had a massive experience connection to Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's teacher, Brahmananda Saraswati of Jyotir Math, the Shankaracharya of India a while back, of the north. And he infused every single cell of my body with some kind of cosmic intelligence. And I knew in that moment, the moment I received my mantra, that he had ignited. And even though he's not in his body, he's passed away, he's still here and he still is able to create an effect. So if you go and you learn transcendental meditation, it doesn't matter who teaches you, he's in charge of that effect on your nervous system. So if the time is right for you and you learn transcendental meditation and he comes through, your life can really, really change. I mean, he transformed me in a profound way. Everything that I say on this channel is infused with the background of his intelligence. I don't know where my knowledge actually comes from. I had knowledge of acting, I had knowledge of psychology, I have knowledge, but the transcendental knowledge, the ability to speak about things that you can't see, all of the direct experience, the effortless meditation, that is not something that I taught myself. That is something that I was given, and it makes me emotional talking about it because I'm just so grateful to be blessed, because it relieves an ocean of suffering. Because if you have the ability to transcend, to move beyond your body, beyond the relative world, it's such a relief, because you just can get so caught up in the grind of living and doing and existing, and it's such a limited space, and you can think that that's all that exists. But when you're given a tool such as the transcendental meditation or any other meditation that enables you to move beyond your body, when you're given that tool, you realize that what occurs in the relative physical world is only a minute part of existence. And then if you do have celestial experiences, you see that there's other worlds, there's other beings, there's non-physical entities that protect, that a cat isn't just a cat, that a cat is connected to cat gods, and that snakes are connected to snake gods, and that animals are not just animals, they have their counterparts, they have cosmic counterparts. Everything has a cosmic counterpart. And even though something shows up as a human or a worm or a cat or a dog, it has a cosmic counterpart. And the cosmic counterparts can bestow conscious upgrades on an individual. They can bestow protection. They can bestow gifts, cities, abilities, warnings. And I, through my devotion of animals, have been lucky enough to have been given these gifts from beyond, but they don't belong to me. I don't own them, and I can't have any credit for them. And so this is available to everybody. You don't have to be special. You don't have to be in the Himalayas. You don't have to be from an Indian lineage. You don't have to be anything. You could be a homeless person on the street. You could be a prostitute. You could be a murderer. You could be a billionaire who's just partying all the time and has no interest in spirituality. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you're given the ability to transcend, if you're meditating in an effortless way and you allow yourself to go to your being, all of this starts to unfold naturally, spontaneously. It's like if you go to the gym and you just keep going to the gym, you start to get built. It's just a natural progression. So if you meditate and you take time to meditate every day, you will change your life. You will change your perception of reality. You will see beyond the veil. Just don't give up. And also, if your meditation's difficult, fix it. There's always a solution. Just notice I'm pushing and try different things till you can feel effortless in your meditation. And there are effortless guided meditations on this channel. You can also learn transcendental meditation if you feel like it. Or maybe you have your own type of meditation that you do. I'm not here to tell you you need to do anything, because your inner guidance will tell you what you need to do. Maybe it's the transcendental meditation, maybe it's the mindfulness, maybe it's something else. I'm sharing my journey. It doesn't have to be the same. I'm just sharing my experiences, but there's no finger wagging. There's just sharing. And I do believe that humans and animals and everything is very powerful. And there's a lot of unseen things that we don't know when we're just trapped in our mind. And if we settle down, then a whole world can open up to us. And that world is more real than this world. And it's such a fun journey because you're not on your own. And I've said this before. When animals come into your life or people come into your life, they all have their cosmic counterparts. And so what you see isn't what you get. So here's October. I'm stroking October, but she's connected to cat consciousness, and cat consciousness is connected to all of the multitude of cat gods and goddesses that there might be out there. And I've had the privilege and luck of seeing one today. The most beautiful thing ever. And isn't that cool that there's cat gods out there? And that there's like nagas and snake gods. And maybe there's like a worm god. Maybe there's a chicken god. Maybe there's an octopus god. Maybe there's a dog god. So if you have like a dog, maybe there's like its counter god is something like magical that you might see. And dogs are always very protective of their owners. They're always sitting by their owners and sleeping by their owners and sensitive to what's going on with their owners. And maybe dogs are connected to a non-physical realm, and they're pulling in all of that non-physical stuff too to protect their owners. And so I pray that we really respect animals. They're not just animals. There are protectors. There are connection to other worlds. They are the keys that unlock our heart space. And once the heart space is open, that enables a lot of non-physical to come in, because the heart space, if it's open, it creates a softness in the physiology, which is very attractive to non-physical, and you get a lot of non-physical support. So if you've rescued an animal, or you have an animal as part of your family, know that that is so lucky. I mean, you are blessed. Everybody wants to go and they want to meet these gurus, but you have gurus in your living room. You have your dog, you have your cat, you have your bunny rabbit, or your hamster, or your lizard, or your goldfish. Yes, a goldfish. I mean, we don't even... What is a goldfish? You have no idea. There could be a cosmic counterpart in fish consciousness. And I don't even know what that must be like. And so I pray that our heart spaces can be open, that our heart spaces can feel connected to all beings for all time, that our animal guides can teach us the lessons that we need to learn in our human experience, that we can enter stillness and mindfulness with our animal guides or when walking in nature. May they reconnect us to the deepest part of ourselves. May we have the capacity to carve out time in our busy schedules just to be still and to be open. To be still, to be open, to be effortless, and to be free.